A lot of people have been there. You've taken too much time off your instrument, and now you're lost on how to get back to where you used to be. There are multiple factors affecting your main problem of feeling insecure going back into playing. While it's obvious you have to practice to get back into shape, it may not be clear what mental steps to take next. Somewhat by coincidence, but also in preparation for this video, I have taken off a whole year from doing any sort of practicing on my instrument. The whole point of this is to show musicians who have put off their hobby or old passion for other pursuits that not only can it be enjoyable to return to your instrument after so much time off, but it can be done with unparalleled enthusiasm. This is also for aspiring musicians who have taken off more than a few days or weeks while they're still studying in school. Heck, you can even use this if you've never played a musical instrument before but are curious. So, what is practicing? Does it count if you play other instruments? Does it only count if you critically listen to music involving your instrument? The thing is, if you want your brain to take notes of a special performance, it will actually do that automatically. So what is practicing? Does it count if you play other instruments? Does it only count if you critically listen to music involving your instrument? The thing is, if you want your brain to take notes of a special performance, it will actually do that automatically. And when you focus your practice on emulating that special performance, it's like a double practice session. When I listen to music, my brain is automatically comparing to my own previous musical experiences. So technically, if your brain is working out in this way, it can be considered as a form of musical practice, since the whole point of practicing your instrument is to synchronize your brain with the instrument to express music. Most teachers would emphasize listening to music critically to enhance what you're learning in lessons or in class. Most likely, they will prefer to call practicing as the actual act of playing the instrument with it in your hands, not pretending or imagining it in your brain. That's a good thing, but the virtual practicing counts at least a little bit and will help you get back in the game. So that's what I've been doing. Sometimes people need a little time off to enjoy other parts of life. Just for this video, I am coming back to my instrument not only to show the way to a very high level from level 0, but also to apply new ideas that I've gathered during my time off. It's important to be aware of the non-practicing you've done that will actually make you better, like the cool sounds you heard and thought would be awesome to try on your own instrument. Let's get into the actual mental processes to get back into shape. First, you have to be convinced that you actually want to play your instrument. If you don't like an instrument, you don't have to play it. Do something you actually like. In my life, I've tried to prioritize things by how much I actually enjoy doing them. If the actual practice or experiences you've had with your instrument aren't enjoyable enough, they'll never have priority over other things in life. For me, the connotations my instrument brings about are generally positive past experiences and genuine enthusiasm for all aspects of life. I say it this way because even if you are very self-critical and fear your natural enthusiasm is fake, you can make enthusiasm real in your brain and create a positive change in your life. If you're still not satisfied and can't please your self-critical side, hopefully you can negotiate with yourself, because otherwise there is no chance to create that super important positive association in your brain. Next, make sure your instrument is in good working shape. Hopefully it's been kept in a protective case and hasn't been damaged. Once you've established that the instrument works well, we can delve into playing it. What is the first note you play? It's not so important which note you choose to play, but rather how you go about it. The most important thing you want to build up is enough endurance so that you don't tire too quickly. You should aim up to work up to a 30-minute practice session. If you can't make that amount of time enjoyable, it's not going to be worth it. factors that play into endurance include muscle memory development, physical muscle fatigue, mental fatigue, and the quality of the entire experience. You can do everything well technically and treat yourself extremely positively, but if the exercises or songs you choose to work on are unsatisfactory or boring, you aren't going to accomplish anything, and you will form a negative mental association with the entire experience. This issue is further explored in the Performance Techniques introductory video. The quick answer, though, is to enjoy the experience with good music and finish each session with the positive thought that you got tired because you were having fun. This will leave you with a memory that encourages you to pick up where you left off for next time. Once you get tired, forcing yourself will make things less fun. While you can spend years of your life going into the details of what gear to use or what the best exercises are, the whole point is to play great songs. A lot of exercises are built to prepare to play these great songs, especially if they are difficult. My approach is to go straight to the song and make it as easy as possible to learn it. You can do this at home without anybody judging you. The first thing I would focus on is making use of your instrument. The tuba is made of huge metal pipes that amplify any input throughout its entire body and makes the most sound out of its bell. When you buzz through the mouthpiece, the buzz travels throughout the whole instrument, but the measured metal pipes give it different resistances that create different pitches. Much like a stringed instrument can be tightened on each individual string, a tuba has a number of valves that can be manipulated for tuning purposes. Each instrument has a vibrating area that has to be manipulated to achieve a desired series of pitches to achieve an expression. You can take a lot of the guesswork out of learning an instrument by simplifying the entire process as getting an idea in your brain, then communicating that idea past the resistances of a physical instrument, the muscle memory required to operate it, and the energy it takes to express the idea. Your muscle memory keeps track of resistances for each note based on the length of pipe you choose to achieve that result. Therefore, the first step should be to begin this process by playing long tones while your brain tries to create muscle memory. Do so in a very nurturing way so that your muscle memory is more efficient. For example, if you do physical exercising out of anger, you don't think clearly and you're more concerned with expressing and feeling anger than you are nurturing your muscles. This is why building good habits from the beginning makes a big difference. Because the goal is to create a nurturing and positive environment for growth, if you fill even the most mundane tasks with meaning, your improvements will be that much more efficient. Once you grasp a concept like long tones and how to use a tuner, you can multitask instead of working on just one thing at a time. A simple exercise like a long tone will succeed in building muscle memory. However, you run the risk of making this boring unless you also work on playing the long tone in tune and focus on nurturing your muscle memory. To add another layer, think about the articulation and breathing before, after, and in between notes. To add a cherry on top, you can also work on creating a good tone. Once you've warmed yourself up with practice tones, you can ease your way into expanding your range so that you can play good songs. Once you feel comfortable with the mental map your brain created out of muscle memories, you will feel more comfortable on your instrument. A mental map will eliminate the resistance of mental uncertainty for pitch accuracy. Once you can get notes, skip the exercises and start playing enjoyable songs. You can treat the song itself as an exercise, as well as the process of learning it. You can succeed with this because your mental approach is healthy. For example, if you want to lose weight for the wrong reasons, it's going to be harder and you're not going to enjoy it. But if you fill your purpose for exercising with meaning, you will be more driven to succeed. Time to demonstrate with the instrument. Just made sure, made a quick checkup on my instrument. My valves are a little noisy. They haven't been oiled in a while, a year. So they're still working though. I'm just gonna keep it like that, just to show you. I'm going through the mental steps again. So we already talked about the mental processes involved in practicing, and now I'm going to play my first notes in over a year. People can guess a tune based on the pitches played. This is why people can tell when you've played a wrong note, and sometimes you can too. I'm just going to work on some long tones to work on endurance and tuning. I didn't bring my tuner, I didn't prepare it, but that's something I'm going to do. I mean, it's my first practice session. I really just want to get some sounds out. Normally, I would do it with a tuner though. So, hopefully, I'm testing out this mic, and hopefully, it's not too loud. So it's not very exciting to work on long tones because it doesn't sound like music. I mean, there's a pitch that is part of music, and if you organize the pitches correctly, you can make some good music. But in this case, it just sounded like random notes. Random notes isn't always good music. So now I'm gonna do the next work on the harmonic series. You got to just find a good balance between the technical exercises and the musical part, and that's going to make it more enjoyable. So I'm going to work on the harmonic series next of my instrument, and in this case, octaves are usually the same fingering, and they require manipulating the pressure on your embouchure. You can try gliding across the harmonics. You will even feel the slots where the instrument wants to go. Add these feelings to your mental map. So you can do that on every single fingering, and every finger you press down, it's going to add this length of pipe. Like this is the first valve, it's going to add that length of pipe. You can have more resistance, and so on for the other valves. So if you still feel uncertain, keep practicing long tones and do other exercises. I already feel very confident because even after a year off, I can feel my muscle memory already coming back to me. I just did a quick overview, and that was enough of a refresher to jumpstart my muscle memory. The most important thing here is to be aware that all you need to do is apply embouchure pressure and airflow, and adjust how much air pressure to apply based on the expected resistances to achieve pitch accuracy. Err on the safe side by aiming for less pressure per unit of air you apply. Opt for simplicity when building habits for your mental map. Next, I'm going to start playing songs and demonstrate how to practice other things besides how the tune is going to go. Most of the things to work on don't require sheet music. I will be using sheet music though because I have not memorized these songs and it will be faster for me since I can read it quickly. Yeah, I mean, I already feel good just playing that song. I think because it's so well written. I mean, if you ever played that game, Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, that was the tune from Temple of Time. It is, I really like it. I mean, it feels so awesome when you walk into that building, that temple, and there's the Master Sword. You know, you feel like something big is about to happen. And it's really just a catchy tune. So, you know, I feel good, even though for me, that wasn't a great performance. For me, as an end result, that wouldn't be acceptable. But if you're just having fun, especially if you're just um, getting back into the game or learning it, that might be like the greatest thing you've accomplished. So, you know, for me, it makes sense not to be hard on myself. I enjoyed that product just because it sounded pretty close to it. So that's the main thing. I'm gonna keep focusing on this. I'm gonna play this again. I'm gonna try to get better. You know, I can feel that I already know what things to work on. So. I did an octave lower there because I wanted to test that out. You know, the lower range is supposed to be really good to practice on. I might do the higher range, but that's going to take more pressure on my lips. I don't know if I can really handle that right now. But let's play something higher because more pressure on your muscles, on any muscle on your body, is going to affect it, you know. Something a little bit more technical. I'm not going to take it up. Something a little bit more technical. Like the songs from Castlevania. Wow, so that's hard. That one is in a hard key and it's faster and it's higher. I think I did okay on it. Yeah, that's something to practice. It's a good tune though. At least you enjoy it. This is one of those things where even though it's hard, you know, there's rewards in it because the tune itself is pretty good. Otherwise, if it was hard and doesn't sound that good, you're gonna be less inspired to actually play through the whole thing. So, yeah, I mean that was a good demonstration. After you practice, you want to leave on a good note. Hopefully, you practice enough to feel tired. If you spend more than 30 minutes on a single song, either the song is too hard or you may need some variety to make your experience more desirable. Feel free to step away from what you're working on. If you focused on positive muscle memory, you will be able to pick up where you left off the last time. As long as you want to go back to it, it's fine. Don't be harshly critical. Remember, this is the nurture phase, and you're supposed to take it easy. You're barely getting back into the game or learning an instrument for the first time. If you catch yourself being overly critical, you need to realize that you've taken a step back. And if you take enough steps back, you will be at the nurture phase again. You wouldn't replace a nurture phase with harshly critical experiences that don't allow growth. Think about it. If you already think you're not good enough at this stage, that's a negative mental association and will hurt your intentions to grow. That being said, my tone wasn't the best because I still need to fine tune my mental maps and make it easier on my embouchure to play the notes. I just have to keep practicing and it'll get there. After practicing, you've created a mental map to play your instrument. You should also create mental maps to navigate through the emotions you will experience. Utilizing this will help you create a strong foundation of positive experiences that will help you grow. I hope you utilize these concepts in your endeavors and also use the videos from the Music School series to strengthen these and other ideas.